Hello friends, welcome to my cozy haven. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you've clicked my video today. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I'm talking about the books I've already been reading this week, what I'm going to be reading this weekend coming, and what my other plans for the weekend are. Not that there are many. I'll let you into that wee secret now. There are not many, honestly. So reading wise, it's been quite a good week. So let's start off with some of the books that I was reading last weekend. So I was reading Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I haven't picked this up since last weekend. I just wasn't feeling in the mood. And I thought, no, I'm not going to try and push myself to read it and end up hating it, because I know there are a few of my friends that have loved this book, and I'm hoping I will as well. But I'm not going to push myself and end up hating this book. I'm on page 29, and I will pick it up. I'm actually thinking I might pick it up, later on over the weekend, I think. We'll see. I've got one book on the go at the moment that I will probably be finished by then, so possibly pick that up. But I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I think it's going to be very interesting. The character's in Norway, and she's sort of studying fairies and the various types of fairies. And I'm not necessarily there for I'm not there for the fairy lore, if that makes sense. I'm more there by the description of Norway, if I'm honest. So yeah, I think it will be. I'm hoping it'll be an interesting read for me, and I will enjoy it. If any of you have read it, please come chat with me in the comments. I'd love to know. But gorgeous cover. Lovely, lovely cover. So yeah. So we shall see what I make of that one. So that's my first book. I then decided to pick up Heidi Swain's new one, All Wrapped Up. This is an autumnal story set in her village of Windbridge. And normally it's Christmas ones we get at Windbridge, but we've got an autumnal one. I love this. This was brilliant. So we meet Clemmy, and Clemmy has come to Windbridge, and she is renovating Rowan Cottage. And she's really kept herself to herself, hasn't gone out, etc. And one day when she's out in the garden, this lady drives by, and Lizzie's like, "Oh, hello, how are you?" etc. blah blah blah. And she tries to engage Clemmy in conversation, and Clemmy invites her into the house, and Lizzie recognises the house because Clemmy has an Instagram post called, I think it's Forever Autumn. And Lizzie then tries to enlist her help in organising the autumn festival. And Clemmy's like, no. But she kind of not wears her down, but she comes round to the idea and she agrees. And Ash, who is the new vet, has said he will be the deputy. And this is a story of Clemmy opening up to people, of discovering new things for her, making friends in the village, realising that she has a lot more potential than she maybe thought at the time she had. I adored this book. I love the Windbridge series anyway, but this was just so good. It gave you the warm, cosy autumn feels. I'm not joking. Rowan Cottage sounds absolutely delightful. It just sounded such a beautiful cottage. I would love to. If it was real, I'd be like, book me in, please. But no, and I love Windbridge. I think the characters that we still meet characters from the previous books. Do I say you have to have read the Windbridge series in order to read this one? No. You could read this as a standalone. Because I haven't read all the Windbridge books. I want to get them all. I've got a number of them. I want to get all of them. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. So if you're looking for a book that is clean, there is a bit of romance, it's clean, and with all the autumn feels, I would definitely pick up Heidi Swain's new one, because it was just, gave me everything I was looking for at the time. I then picked up, no, don't do that to me, please, thank you, Escape to the Northern Lights by Carrie Walker. This I was given for review. We meet Sarah, and Sarah is hopefully up for promotion at her job. She is a lawyer, very hotshot lawyer, and she's up against a man called Bobby, and Bobby's been in the practice for longer than Sarah has, and they go to this meeting with the top notch, and things don't go as planned for either of them. And Sarah comes back to her office and basically has a major panic attack. She's been having these attacks a bit more frequently than normal, and this one she ends up in hospital. And the doctor's like, you're going to have to make changes, you're going to have to make serious changes. And she's like, I can't, I need to, blah, blah, blah. But they sign her off work for a couple of months, and they're like, and work are like, yep, that's fine. They shut her out of all her emails and everything. And her friend Abby goes, oh, you should go to Firefly Forest, I think it is, or Firefly Retreat, something like that. It's Firefly something, whatever it is. I think it's Firefly Forest, a retreat in Norway. And it just so happens that they have a cancellation, and Sarah goes. Now Sarah's expecting, she'd been told by her friend that Emma Stone had gone there, a big person from Hollywood, and she was like, yeah, great, she imagined like beaches and spas and everything like that. It's not really what she got. The retreat is vegan to start with. There's no technology. There's very little, there's hardly any Wi-Fi signal. She's living in this beautiful cabin on her own, and there are various other cabins dotted around. And they have workshops, things like a laughing workshop, there's a gardening workshop. And the more time she spends there, and the more time she spends with the people who are there, the more she relaxes and enjoys the experience. Unfortunately, her ex-husband discovers where she is, and he is a real estate person. And he arrives sort of unannounced. But he's not there to rest and relax. He's basically there to try and persuade, or to scout the property out for somebody who wants to buy it, basically. And then Sarah, and there's lots of things happening. I'm not going to tell anymore because I'm going to spoil it. But it was really nicely written. I really enjoyed it. I liked Sarah as a character. I thought she was really good. I liked Henrik and Jonas and Tor and Greta. They were people who are part of the retreat. I liked the other people in the retreat that we met. I thought it was a very well written book. I did enjoy it. I'm going to give it probably 3.5 out of 5. I did enjoy it. I know that we needed to have, shall we say, you have to have a bit of conflict. I felt the conflict was maybe a bit too overdone. Maybe I was like, really, would he do that? So there was that to it. But no, I did enjoy it, and I think this is about the second Carrie Walker I've read, and I would read more of hers. I did enjoy it, so that was nice. So the books I have on the go at the moment are Barefoot Beach by Debbie Mason. I am buddy reading with Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I will leave a link to her channel down below. I've read one chapter of today's reading. I've got the second chapter to do. We've got to kind of, shall we say, quite a bit of the crux of the story. I've got, how many chapters are in this? 27, so we're getting to what's going to happen, and I'm enjoying this. It's Thea and Marco's story. So yes, I'm enjoying the premise. I'm enjoying sort of seeing where Debbie Mason's taking this, and how there's still a lot of questions as to how are things going to work out, and what's she going to do with things. I'm really looking forward to reading this, or to keep reading this, I should say. The other book I have on the go is Over the Sea to School by Mabel Esther Allen. I'd seen this in the Girls Gone By publishing catalogue. They're the people who publish like older school stories that were done kind of the 1920s onwards, and they're the people who publish a lot of the Shalley School books now and the Shalley School fill-ins. And I'd heard about this, or read about it, and it's about a girl who's sent to school on the Isle of Skye, and I'm like, that could be interesting. So I've only read one chapter so far. Have I not? I've only read one chapter so far, and Dills is really not very happy to be heading off to Skye to school. She's really happy where she is. She's form captain, everything else, and the school that she's going to in Skye is a progressive school, so there's kind of no set timetable, etc., etc. I'm going to be really interested to see whether I like this sort of idea or not. So I'm intrigued enough that I want to read this and see what I make of it. But yeah, so those are all the books that I was reading this week, so I'm really pleased with that. This week has been a quiet week. Mum and Dad haven't been all that brilliant. Dad took a digestive issue bug last week, and then Mum took it. Touch wood, I've kept away from it. But I've just been at home, I'm at home anyway, but I haven't done anything this week. I've just sort of, stayed in the house, made sure they're okay, and things like that. They've both just had their flu and COVID shots. So it'll just be, it'll be quiet time today. I think they'll probably sleep. I mean, they've both been sleeping quite a bit this week, but obviously their bodies need that to recover. So, so it's been a quiet week for me. What are my plans for the weekend? We'll have rugby as usual this weekend, so that's good. We'll have URC, which is great. I'm in the mood to do some cross stitch. I've got an idea for a cross stitch bookmark for a friend, so I think I might try starting that. And then I might bake some cookies. I'm in the mood I think possibly to bake some cookies. And I'm wanting to start getting into decorating them, so like icing them and doing nice, designs and stuff like that. So I might make some cookies, because I'm meeting up with a friend on Monday for lunch, and since it's Canada Day, or sort of Canadian Thanksgiving, I thought what I might do is make her some maple leaf shaped cookies and decorate them. But we'll see how the energy levels go. At the moment, I have to say I am feeling quite tired, because I'd forgotten I was taking Mum and Dad for their vaccines. And I was still asleep. It was 10:15, and Dad's like, I had a better break, and I was like sound asleep. I was dreaming when he woke me. So it's like, I don't like being wakened from dreams. It's like, oh, so you feel kind of like, oh, but no, I'll be fine. But I think today I will just maybe start some cross stitch. I have my crochet project on the go as well, so I might do that. But we will just see how the mood takes me, what I feel like doing. Definitely read, obviously. But that's it for this video. Please come chat with me down in the comments. Have you read any of the books that I've mentioned? What did you think of them? I'd love to know. Are any of the ones that I've talked about, do they intrigue you enough to think, yeah, I quite fancy that? What have you been reading this week? what are you going to be reading this weekend, and do you have any plans for the weekend? I'd love to know. And on your way down there to chat with me in the comments, if you haven't already and you like this video, please give it hit the like button. It just helps my channel keep growing and everything. And also, if you haven't already hit the subscription button to become a member of my wee cozy haven over here, I would love you to do that. It'd be great. I'm just enjoying having more subscribers, more people to chat to. It's great. And hit the notification bell. It just tells you when I'm bringing out new videos. But for the moment, friends, that's it. Have a good weekend, but whatever you do, stay safe and happy reading. Bye.